Hello there you, and welcome to a crazy old pitch battle that we've got today between the Chaos here and the Orcs on the other side. Unfortunately though, about 2,000 ELDAR have got stuck right into the middle of these two warring factions today, and they're going to be trying to hold their ground against both armies as they clash against each other. Now, for the purposes of this, I have turned off the volumetric blood. That means there's going to be no goopy flows. We're still going to get the splatter on the floor like this, but I did it so that the ELDAR basically wouldn't drown themselves in the blood of their enemies here. And of course, the Chaos and the Orcs are still going to be going head to head here, but we want to see if 2,000 ELDAR here can actually manage to survive this insane war. Now look at this as well. The armies are truly massive, stretching off there into the distance, both bringing in just over 1 million units here. But the ELDAR in the center at the moment are doing a fantastic job of managing to hold that line against both armies. You can see we've got this crazy little bit of a three-way fight that's starting to go on into the center here, as the Chaos and the Orcs battle it out against each other. Meanwhile, the ELDAR just look on, holding that line there. We have got a couple of Guardians in the center, but of course, the main defense here is the Howling Banshees with their mirror swords. Now let's go have a look at the rest of the combat line here, because of course, like I said, the Orcs and the Chaos are also going head to head here. At the moment, it looks like the Orcs are pulling ahead ever so slightly with the kills there, and followed by the ELDAR, of course, who are having a bit of a field day in the center. The Orcs are pushing up lots and lots of reinforcements up to the top of the hill. It's a little bit of a battle for the supremacy of a hill here. Whoever holds the top is definitely going to hold the superior firepower here, just because they'll be able to have Overwatch and lay down that covering fire right into the masses behind them. It's a brutal fight on our front line though. Let's go back over to our ELDAR. As you can see, the battle stretching off into the distance on the other side. Now, we will start to get these little gaps forming here as some of the renegade infantry, the demons here as well. Look at this. We've got a couple of bloodletters that have made their way to the front lines here for the Chaos. But yeah, we have got a separate shooting division over here. Some of the renegade gunners standing back and blasting the enemy. The rest of them charging forward into melee combat, driven absolutely insane by the frenzy of Cordia. Now we can see this interesting little thing that has happened here. Neither the Orcs or the Chaos are gaining ground here against the ELDAR, who are holding firm against both factions at the moment. The bodies are really starting to build up as well. I think that's what the ELDAR plan is here. They're just going to build up the bodies so high that it's going to make them little fortress walls, which will keep them safe from all the shootiness that's happening around them. But up and down this combat line, though, it is absolute devastation here. Both armies are absolutely railing into each other. The Orcs are having a right old field day here. Mega Knobs on the front line. Them pneumatic crawls just crushing loads of infantry in big, grabby, swoopy motions. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at the boys on the front line here, having an absolute field day. Then we got to watch out because Khorne's dual axe marauders there are also on that front line, and they do not mess about. The Chaos actually seem to be, and the Orcs here seem to be fairly evenly matched. We can see this defilade of bodies is starting to appear where neither side is actually managing to push at the moment. We've got this horrible crossfire as the Orc Dacker in the background there has railed onto the front line, and the Chaos also follow suit. But look at this though. 2,000 ELDAR so far have managed to get 52,000 kills. That's pretty dang impressive if you ask me. That front line is holding absolutely magnificently here. Neither army able to push past this block formation. The Orcs seem to be gaining a little bit of ground, actually, having said that. Maybe the Orcs will be the ones who push past first. Seems like the Chaos are going for a little bit of a different plan here. The Orcs, obviously being Orcs, are just absolutely throwing everything that they've got at this little defensive formation. The Chaos now seem to be standing back, realizing that a melee assault is not that effective. They're just standing back and seemingly shooting at it, letting the Orcs possibly have their way with this ELDAR formation, realizing that it's not worth the sacrifice of units from their team. Because yeah, look at this, we've definitely got this weird little area here where there's almost no Chaos melee anymore. Is that because they've all been piled up already, though? I mean, there's a lot of dead Chaos over here, and they're still pouring in men, I've got to say. Nowhere near as much as the Orcs are. The Orcs are absolutely trying to swarm the ELDAR formation here, and the ELDAR are holding out pretty dang nicely. Meanwhile, up and down the rest of the line, it's still just this horrible pitched warfare where neither side is really moving at the moment. The bodies are just building up. It is an absolute brutal fight. I love how it just stretches off into the distance as well, over hills and far away. The Orc boys did indeed come out to play, and they are smashing into that Chaos front line at the moment. The Chaos, though, have got the reinforcements to keep pumping them into that line, ensuring that the Orcs aren't gaining any real ground here. You can see that it goes all the way to the edge of the actual map. I can't even get the camera over that part to see the edge. A couple of Orcs being really cheeky here, sneaking around the outside of the map to try and outflank the Chaos. That is really cheeky. Kind of feels actually like the Orcs have made some good progress here. I think the Orcs are actually battling bit by bit their way through this line. It seems like there's a lot of bodies underfoot, but they're on the higher end of it. The Chaos, though, have, like I said, definitely got the reinforcements to keep pumping units into these combat lines. Again, more defined shooting lines here from the Chaos. We've definitely got this melee front, but there's a lot of gunfire going on as well. I think the Orcs have just brought all theirs up real close. That's why it doesn't look like the Orcs have got anywhere near as much. I think they've actually got almost exactly the same amount of shooters here. I think the Orcs just prefer getting up nice and close. Oh man, look at that line. It is just brutality up and down it. Let's go back to our ELDAR, see how they're getting on. Yeah, look at that. The Chaos tactic has been working. Just standing back and shooting. But the rest of the ELDAR now are actually in cover. They managed to build up the bodies enough to keep themselves in cover, so I think a lot of the Chaos are actually going to be shooting at the Orcs directly now rather than the ELDAR, which is really good for the ELDAR, who've now got 80,000 kills from just 2,000 of them. Oh my god, look at this down the line. It looks like the Orcs have gained the upper hand on the far flank over here. Mega Knobs to the front, just crushing that Chaos infantry. And that is a lot of Mega Knobs. Look at all these boys on the front. Oh, they are just storming ahead. That is an absolute break here in the flank of the Chaos. The Chaos are getting more and more units around here, realizing what's happening. Or is it going to be too little too late here? We've got a lot of gunners. Gosh, look at all that smoke over there. That's just pumping out from the Orc line as the Daka builds up. But on this side, it kind of feels like the Chaos are gaining ground. Yeah, look at this. This here was the original body pile from where the front line was, but now the Chaos, Marauders and Bloodletters working in tandem here are actually starting to push the Orcs back. This could be real interesting because the Orcs have got the flank here. What we could end up happening actually is with the Orc army getting split in half here. The Orcs seem to be really pushing hard, trying to take out these ELDAR. Like I said, the Chaos tactic is just stand back and shoot. But that's kind of allowed the Orcs to gain ground in other areas here. With there being no melee presence now, look at this. The Orcs have pushed right up into them gunners. And that's actually going to distract a lot of the gunners from trying to shoot the ELDAR. Again, it's all a win-win here for the ELDAR so far. With the Orc lines now pushing right up to them Chaos gunners. Yeah, look at this. There's virtually no melee here for the Chaos in the center. That's really interesting. And now the Orcs are trying to surround the ELDAR. They're going for the all-out assault here. With 960 ELDAR remaining, they are still holding their ground. The Orcs are really struggling to get in there. There is fungus among us on this front line. Look at that though. ELDAR absolutely holding firm. But this Orc assault here now is having huge success. Again, the total lack of melee units on this front line for Chaos has just allowed the Orcs to storm overhead. They've pushed right past that defensive formation now of the Eldar. And I think a similar thing might be happening up and down the line, actually. Are the Chaos just running out of melee troops in general here? Because look, this seems like a really thin line. We've got a nice little blob over here. But again, okay, it actually looks like the Chaos pushed forward. Yeah, look, they pushed forward over the bodies here. And as they've pushed forward, they've sort of ran out of steam. The Orcs, though, on the other hand, still plenty of units ready to recapture the ground that has been lost. And that Orc flanking maneuver is doing some wondrous work over here. The Chaos have been trying to stabilize this, but it's just been pushing it forward relentlessly. I mean, the reason we can tell is because there's no body piles that have actually piled up here yet. So the Orcs have definitely just been storming forward. The Chaos have been trying to hold it, but I don't think they've got the units for it. A lot of they, yeah, look at this. So the Chaos went on this massive offensive on this side over here. You can see where the original front line was there now. And Chaos went on this really big offensive, but they totally ran out of steam and reinforcements. The flanking maneuver totally outdid them. Oh, that's insane. The Orcs now are trying to capitulate the entire flank for Chaos's mistake here. But the real question is as well, how are the Eldar getting on? Because, oh god, look at this. The Orcs are running out of steam. Over here, the Orcs have committed so many forces to the Eldar, and the Eldar have just been slicing them up completely. This is going to allow the Chaos possibly to break through the center lines here of the Orcs, because there's just nothing here now. Look at this, it's completely barren. All the gunners for the Orcs, look at this. We've got reinforcements streaming across the hilltop now, trying to plug that gap. But all the Orc gunners here, look at them, they're really exposed. There's a lot of them, they're all lined up. Look at this, they're trying to shoot at them Eldar, but the Eldar are in such good cover now from all the dead comrades that are splattered all over the floor at the moment. Are Chaos going to be able to actually push across, though? It seems like, again, we've got this real lack of melee units in the center lines. I think the Eldar have just chewed them up and spat them all out. I mean, we had a lot of melee units, but again, look at this. The Orcs now completely running out of steam on this flank. Oh my god, that is absolutely insane. Let's go have a look over this side of the battlefield. How are we getting on over here? So it does seem like we've still got plenty of Chaos melee units over here. We've got this front line. In fact, I would actually say that the Chaos is on the offensive here. They've pushed back at the Orcs down the hill. A bit more of an even combat over here. Look, this is where the original combat line was again, and this is where it stayed on this flank. No one's really gained any ground there, but the Chaos are once again running out of reinforcements on this far flank. So what I think's going to happen here is we're going to get this interesting thing, because the Chaos are going to be able to break through this center line eventually. Once the Eldar have been mopped up, the Chaos will be able to push through. The Chaos are going to push through the center and take out the Orc gunners. But the Orcs are going to capture that flank over there, and they're already in the process of capturing that one over here. I think the Chaos are going to end up in this weird little pincer maneuver, or we're going to get two separate battles at either end of the field here. Now, okay, the poor old Eldar now, they're just hunkering down in their bunker, trying to dodge all the incoming fire, returning what they can. The Orcs and Chaos now refusing to really attack this center line, and I cannot blame them. The Eldar have done an excellent job there. 2,000 Eldar killed 120,000 attackers. That's pretty damn insane, and there's still over 100 Eldar left. Well, they've just gone under now. But the Orc assault on this side of the field is looking rather peachy, I've got to say. They've been absolutely railing right into the side of the Chaos forces for a long time now, and the Chaos have been hardly able to do anything about it. They've tried to reform that defensive line a number of times, but the Orcs have just broken through it every single time. And yeah, look at this again. There's this lack of reinforcements for the Chaos. Perhaps they were really smart then to let the orcs capitulate, let the orcs wear themselves down on the ELDAR. And now look at them swooping in, trying to take the glory of the last few ELDAR. The Howling Banshees here, pulling their last of the call even, not claw. I don't know why I said claw. I was thinking Howling Banshees, and then I was thinking werewolves, and claws popped into my head. Oh my god, look at all them orc gunners as well, just on the other side of the embankment of bodies. That is a juicy lot of gunners there, ready for all the chaos, who are now streaming down the side of the mountain. And the orcs are trying to back up here. But I do think they are going to get cut up and sliced and diced, as the chaos really push that middle part of the battlefield. You can see the orc army on the far flank over there is slowly chewing its way and making its way towards the center. We've got to see how we're doing down here on this other flank though. Okay, so it did happen. The orcs did manage to start outflanking the chaos over this side. They've managed to get all their forces around here and are chewing up and spitting out the remaining defenders. Oh my god, look at that body pile as well that we've got in the center. Yeah, look, the Chaos Force is capitulating real quick over this side. The Orcs now going to start trying outflank the main center part over here. We've got a lot of chaos coming down the side of the mountain, trying to re-engage with these Orcs over this side. It's going to turn into an absolutely insane, weird battle, this is. It's going to be hard to keep track of both sides. The Orc pincer maneuver, though, it's in full swing, it must be said. Look at this, they're streaming ahead. We've only got these few little outcroppings of gunners left who've been caught up in between the Orc flanking maneuvers. And now they're in this horrible crossfire. Really interesting here to see how this all plays out. What I think we'll do is hit a little bit of a time-lapse camera and see what happens here. We'll be back in a second. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as the Orcs here start to complete their pincer maneuver. The poor old Chaos here absolutely caught now in a deadly crossfire. A last stand has been enabled as the Orky boys stomp their way to a glorious victory here today. With 245,000 units remaining, it's still on the field and over 1 million kills. They did absolutely amazing work here. Gork and Mork would be extremely pleased with them. You can see that we've got a few renegade gunners over the side of the field, as well as a couple of marauders who are trying to escape for some reason, but the Orcs have managed to chase them down and are now dealing out death's blow to them here. But ladies and gentlemen, with only 500 chaos remaining on the field, I think it is safe to say that this is a complete and utter Orky victory. Though look at this. We've got to look. This is absolutely amazing. This little box here of where the ELDAR once stood. 2,000 killed over 120,000 Orcs and Chaos. That's absolutely insane. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope you had a blast. I know I did. Please do comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. A massive shout out to all our channel members who help to keep this channel going. And if you're not a channel member, why the heck not? Click the join button down below. And while you're at it, go ahead and check out the amazing Death Before Dishonor hoodies. Available now in the ChaoticPinky store. Links in the description. With all that being said, as always, until next time, peace.